For 88 of their 90 years, the Bruins have been playing in the NHL on this chunk of real estate in North Boston. The Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico. TD Garden, Game 2, best of 7. Detroit's Red Wings leading the series over Boston's Bruins. Happy Easter and happy Passover, everyone. Along with Eddie Olczyk, Pierre McGuire in a moment, I'm Mike Emmerich. Detroit won the first game 1-0. What impressed you about the Red Wings?
Well, their speed game, Doc. There's been a big transformation here over the course of the last 5 months for the Detroit Red Wings, getting a lot younger. But it's how they use their team speed, which has really impressed me back in Game 1. Yeah, it's a way to create forechecking, but also to deny the Boston Bruins any opportunities in the defensive zone, and especially the neutral zone. I think that's where the Red Wings really made their hay in Game 1. Speed through the middle of the ice, frustrating the Boston Bruins. And when you need a goal, Doc, you go to your best player, Pavel Datsyuk, with some unbelievable magic in the middle of the ice. Justin Abdelkader opens up the space to the net. I think Tuukka should have had that goal, but he said he was screened. But you give a player like Datsyuk one opportunity, you get a 1-0 win.
Well, Boston played really well in the first game. What were your thoughts about their Game 1 and Game 2?
Yeah, I thought they played better in the third period, Doc, which I would expect them to be where they left off here today in Game 2. They had some quality chances. They had some really good looks at Jimmy Howard. And I think when they simplified the game, that's when they played their best. The Bruins are known for being a team that has plays 4 lines, can play any way you want. They need to get to those high traffic areas. And one thing, Doc, their top 2 offensive lines have to be way better than they were in Game 1 if they're going to win Game 2 here against the Red Wings.
Here in Boston, the passing of the banner, the organ, and the anthem, and the start of the game. We'll have it all when we return to Boston in just a moment.
F provokes lust. It elicits pride, incites envy, and unleashes wrath. Temptation comes in many heart-pounding forms, but only one letter. F, the performance mark from Lexus.
Discover card? Hey, so I'm looking at my bill and my FICO credit score is on here.
Yeah, you've got our Discover It card, so you get your FICO score on your monthly statements now, for free.
That's nice of you.
It's a great way to stay on top of your credit and make sure things look the way they should.
Awesome sauce.
Huh. My twin sister always says that. Wait, Lisa?
Julie? You sound really different on the phone.
Do I sound pleasant?
For once in your life, you sound very pleasant.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Free FICO credit score. Get the IT card at discover.com.
Introducing the More Everything Plan, our best ever plan for families. 4 lines for only $160 a month, including 10 gigabytes of shareable data, 25 gigabytes of cloud storage to connect all the content you love, unlimited talk, and unlimited international messaging. All so your family can do more for less. Our best plans on the best network. For best results, use Verizon.
If you have claustrophobia, you don't want to be an orphan, man. But this moisture meter lets me know I'm in the right place. Because for a colony of termites, these few drops are like the River Nile. But my specialized protection plan will help prevent termites from reaching this fertile valley. To catch a pest, you have to think like a pest. Not just in any home, in your home.
Stay on top of every NHL game on NBC Sports by following us on Facebook and Twitter. Become a fan at NHL on NBC Sports.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on NBC are brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Verizon. Now you can get more with the More Everything plan. By Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Lexus. This is F, the performance mark from Lexus. 2 great franchises, uniforms virtually unchanged, the spoke B and the wing wheel, the anthem and the face-off next.
The Wright brothers started in a garage. Mattel started in a garage. Disney started in a garage. Amazon started in a garage. The Ramones started in a garage. My point? Some of the most innovative things in the world come out of American garages. Introducing the lighter, faster Cadillac CTS, 2014 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Ain't garages great?
Dedicated bankers born to go the extra mile.
You've been such a big help.
That's what I like to do.
So you can choose a bank where helping people comes first. Chase, so you can.
Here you go.
Wow, thanks.
Join DD Perks and get a free medium Dunkin' coffee, tea, latte, or other medium beverage. Enroll today for a free medium beverage on us. America runs on Dunkin'.
A man's body is like terrain, rugged and uneven. New Gillette Body is the first razor built to handle male terrain with a rounded head, 3 lubricating strips, and an anti-slip grip. New Gillette Body, only from Gillette, the best a man can get.
Goodyear. Driven by those who use the world as their proving ground. And everything we've learned making these tires inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven.
Photography, it's about capturing the moment. It's holding your breath until something takes it out of you. It's performance without hesitation, which is exactly what you get with a tablet powered by Intel.
Here at TD Garden to the ice, Pierre Maguire and the Bruins, Milan Lucic.
Thanks very much, Doc. Speed's a big part of their game. How do you plan on taking it out of their game?
I think we got to close our gaps quick, pressure them when they got the puck, especially in the neutral zone, and take the puck away from them and make them chase us.
You guys like to play it rough. What was the message in the room before you came out?
Just no regrets. Be more determined. Leave it all out there on the ice. Take out all that hesitation that we had in game 1 and go out there and play our game.
Get out there and have a blast, Milan.
All right, thank you.
It is a tradition in every NHL rink, and it is made special here in Boston. The organist has been here for 14 straight years. The vocalist has sung for 39 in a row. We will take you shortly down to the ice for that. In the meantime, here is public address announcer Jim Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by a Garden legend, accompanied by Bruins organist Ron Polster. Please welcome Rene Rancourt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
did the other night, those are all a part of the traditions too, as well as the salute to country, which is the most significant to him. Jimmy Howard, 25 for 25 in saves in Game 1, U.S. Olympian, 44th straight playoff start, all complete games. Tuukka Rask, 23 for 24 in Game 1, Finnish Olympian, bronze medalist, 24th consecutive playoff start, all complete games. Justin Abdelkader, part of the snarl of Detroit. In his career, almost 250 minutes in penalties. Brad Marchand, part of the orneriness of Boston. In his career, about the same. Just to establish the snarl, both of these guys are starting. What do you expect, Eddie?
Well, you'd have to think that the Red Wings know the Bruins are going to come out with a real strong push, try to get on a scoreboard early, so they might have to weather the storm here the first 10 minutes.
Brendan Smith pass is thrown by Hamilton and wide of the cage. Chara, but then Kronwall. Franzen, Datsuk, Brendan Smith, and he glides and feeds one across. Oh, and a rocket of a shot there from Franzen.
Oh, what a pass there from Smith.
It is Datsuk with a shot, and that one blocked high. Taken along now and pulled free by Franzen. Dealt along for Abdelkader. Abdelkader slams on the brake, shakes two. Got it on over for Franzen. Takes a look toward Datsuk, threw one at that ricocheted off of Rask, and then eventually he was able to grab it.
What a terrific entry into the zone through the middle of the ice. Pavel Datsuk to Brendan Smith, the defenseman, jumping into the play, and then he gets his puck to Johan Franzen. Bottom of your screen, there's Franzen with the chance. Great back pressure there from Brad Marchand.
Offensive zone face-off that will feature a draw to be taken by Luke Glendening. In there against Gregory Campbell, and it squibs free, and it's taken by Jordan Caron. Nudged off at center by Legwand, and it's played on back. Off of Glendening, pitched back to Danny DeKeyser, floated on further off of the bump of Thornton. DeKeyser again, and then around behind. Second effort play made almost errantly by Quincy, almost because Glendening rescued him, and then it's played by DeKeyser, ahead to Drew Miller. Miller boomed off by Kevin Miller, no relation, and then Miller pays him back. Drew Miller, no relation. Carried back, and they aren't going to be related anytime in the future.
I was just going to say, no relation.
This is poked on along now, and it's Glendening reaching there along with Campbell, poked along further, and down to the ice went Kindle, and off will come a Bruin. A minute and 31 seconds in, the call is a hold.
Well, a grinding shift, probably where the Bruins want to play. Try to play below the goal line against the Detroit Red Wings. There's a battle. You see 5 players down there, and there you see Kindle go down, and Sean Thornton's going to get the penalty. Goes right to the penalty box, and an opportunity here for the Red Wings on the power play.
Red Wings were 0 for 2 in power plays in Game 1. This power play is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. Datsuk to take the draw, has Legwand to his left, Franzen to his right, and the trigger men in back will be Gustav Nyquist as well as Niklas Kronwall. Bergeron won that one cleanly. No surprise. It is drilled back down. Except that Datsuk is equally good on faceoffs, and in the first game, they had 15. Datsuk won 8, and Bergeron 7. Laid out to center. Bergeron flagged that one down and patted it ahead. Marchand is cross-bodied by Kronwall and just sort of pressed there so that Legwand could carry ahead. Legwand drops it back with a little more speed. Datsuk gains the zone, pivots off and flipped one on through, went to get it, was plastered by Chara, gets back to his feet again, but the pass was on to Nyquist, and then to Franzen, and along to Nyquist again. To the back it comes to Kronwall. Sent it on across again, walked on by Datsuk. Datsuk led it back, Franzen with it there, shooting one, kicked loose in front and cleared by Zdeno Chara. Nearing the halfway point of the power play for Detroit. No shots on goal yet. DeKeyser connects back up now to Sheahan. Sheahan threw one across the net now wide. He was hoping for Tatar. That one bounced free and is ripped back along by Mazzaros, and again back down.
Mazzaros did a good job there on that opportunity for Sheahan, trying to get that puck to Tatar, and nice
defensive play by Nazaros.
Kaiser brought it on and plays it ahead. That one trickled in off Tatar and is spun back down by Gregory Campbell.
Real interesting neutral zone formation by the Boston Bruins because they're basically playing an I formation with their defensemen, and it's confusing Detroit on the entrance.
The Kaiser blasted back in. A stick is loose around its chip behind and then came right back up now for Marchand to delay and lay it across, and Chara lugs it ahead. Then it's handed on to Marchand. Marchand drifts but cannot sashay by the defense. We got a stoppage of play and a penalty coming up here.
Thomas Tatar's going to get it for hauling down Zdeno Chara going to the net. It's a great job by the Bruins on the kill. Get puck possession, and then Zdeno Chara, you heard Milan Lucic say, we're going to leave it all out there. Well, Chara says, okay, I'm going to go hard to the net, and his countryman Tatar hauls him down.
In a minute 49 of power play time, the Red Wings had no shots on goal. And as often we hear Eddie say, trouble with entries and holding on. But here it is Krejci.
Yeah, if you see somebody lined up in the middle of the ice, may not want to chip it in, dump it in and go get it. That's better turn it over 200 feet away from your net instead of 100.
This is Chara handing it across. It becomes a power play in 3, 2, 1. And Thornton is out. So ahead with this now comes Krug. Works his way along, but we get a stoppage of play on an offside. Someone got a bit over anxious. For extensive series coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs, go to NHL.com from your computer or phone. Get video highlights and in-depth analysis of every game direct from the experts. So 100 seconds of a power play now as on comes Krejci. Found his way in and held. To the back it comes to Krug. Across for a hurried drive by Lucic, blocked away by Quincy. And he was going to tee it up, but he did not get rid of it quickly.
A long reach of Chara denied him from clearing.
Along it comes for the clear back down. The longest stick in the NHL. He has to get a waiver for that. But he is the tallest player in history at 6'9". Krejci flies it back in, and it flops over near Lucic. Wheels it around behind, and it curled back up the boards for a pass that's right on the money for Abdelkader. Hands on to Helm, trying to go by Krug. Helm holds, left it behind, taken on now by Iginla. A 3-on-2, a 4-on-2. Iginla got it to Chara, across to Krug, and a shot was slow. Rebound was popped off Howard, and it's Helm lifting one that goes back down.
Darren Helm just saved the goal for the Detroit Red Wings.
They have the extra man. They had an extra 2 on that rush as it's bounced off the glass and came over to Quincy. Rolled around and kneed down. Trying to play it further was Smith, but no luck there for Riley Smith. Opposite side punched around and cleared by Miller, but not out. On across it comes again. Riley Smith gives on over to Hamilton, and Hamilton waits. Then across now to Louis Eriksson. Eriksson dealt it in deep. Thrown across! They tried to connect with Riley Smith, no luck. Drew Miller able to play it back down with 10 to go on the penalty kill for Detroit, and the Red Wings have it first in Luke Glendening. Roughed up pretty well on that collision with Hamilton as the puck is taken around. At this time of year, it is a very rugged game. And fired back in and stopped by Rask, and so both teams have been short, and neither team has gotten a shot on their power play. Right back ahead, rushing on is Marchand. Scurries back along and wanted Campbell. He got there, slithered it on through Kronwall, and took his own pass. To the back to Chara. Rattled behind for Marchand. Turns and heads to the front, and his pass was off kilter. And right back along with it now comes Daniel Alfredsson, flicking it in and going in after Kevin Miller. It is a rugged game. A 2-on-1 developing. Hustling back is Kindle. That came right by him. And then it's Campbell stashing it in, and Marchand right there to take it perfectly. Led to the slot. Iginla fed one, and that came across to Campbell. A little scrambly right now, but then it's helped along for Campbell again. Fed one that's guided away by Brendan Smith, and popped back over to Iginla to the point of drive by Boychuk. It's booted away by Franzen. Without a stick is Brendan Smith. Following up is Boychuk. Boychuk collided with Iginla as well as Franzen. And then reaching in is Datsuk. It comes to the back, thrown wide by Mazzaros. The bounce favored Brendan Smith. Carried off though, puck free. Franzen has it, but it's carried back up by Datsuk. Datsuk gets across the red line, plays it gently in. Shift change for some tired Red Wings. And so it is a play to be made now by Mazzaros. 2 shots in the game. Both of them have come off Red Wing sticks. On with it is Krejci. Dips the shoulder, wants to go by DeKaiser. Forced off behind, and then he lost it. It's punched back along, but right into Sheahan. Back up the boards for Tatar. Kept alive by Kevin Miller of Boston. Stopped behind by Krejci. Knife back up for Miller. Cut off there and brushed into traffic and played on by Tatar. Tatar able to fight his way away from the persistent checking of Krejci, handed it off, and Krejci is able to send it back the other way. Sheahan brushed it on back, and Howard will come out. Howard fired it along, and a turnover. The first NHL goal of Florida.
Well, the Red Wings were not able to get the puck in deep. There was a turnover. Jimmy Howard comes out and tries to put this puck over, and he shoots it. It goes off the right skate of Brendan Smith, and Florida puts it right into the wide-open net.
Now the young man out of Marquette, Michigan, in northern Michigan gets his first playoff goal, as Doc says, and he capitalized on a turnover. It was Riley Sheahan who played it back into his own zone, and then just a complete error between Brendan Smith and Jimmy Howard. And a little Michigan magic for the young man out of northern Michigan.
Many are still standing. Taken along behind now, and a wraparound attempt by Mazzaros failed. Flicked ahead for Legwand. Legwand plays it across. Carried by Drew Miller. Has a man up the wing, Glendening. Miller after it, guided in front, ricocheted off a skate, and is forced away to the glass. Rushed right back out again and carried on by Louis Eriksson, and then out at center.
Jakob Kindle's getting a penalty for interference, Doc.
Touched, and now the penalty. He was trout fishing on Monday when he was called up to the NHL. He hooked a big one, 1-0.
Well, there's Jakob Kindle, as Pierre made mention before the TV timeout. Cross-check, interference, whatever you want to call it. Right call made on the ice. Power play coming for the Bruins.
Kindle to the box. Bruins with a gift. Glad to accept. And they lead this game 1-0. Drive, and that ricocheted off of Howard and hopped to the glass. Krejci with the shrug keep posted it across, where Iginla can walk it off. Iginla turning, handed it back in deep for the return to him, and it clicked on for Glendening, who can bring it back up. University of Michigan product tapped it back in and came to the bench for a change in lines. Torrey Krug brings it on. Krug peels off, fed it on for a feed across that ricocheted loose as it's punched along by Quincy. A nice setup that came from Lucic, but it just would not work. Coming out to handle this now is Tuukka Rask.
Boy, Milan Lucic has got a chance to take that puck right to the net. Instead, he tries to pass off. That's where you just got to put your head down and take it right to the blue paint.
On comes Hamilton. Pushed it off Howard, who covers, and play is stopped.
Eddie, I thought in game number 1, Boston didn't do a very good job getting to the net. You made a good point on Milan Lucic, and this time you see Dougie Hamilton. He does get to the net, but watch how many black sweaters get there right after Dougie Hamilton.
Well, the opportunity all started with the chance for Milan Lucic. Here's the opportunity. He's coming into that area. You got to take the puck right to the net. Take it right there. And he tries to make the pass through 2 Detroit Red Wing defenders.
Hamilton will go back for this one. He and Riley Smith, as well as Patrice Bergeron, Louis Eriksson, and Carl Soderberg are the Bruins out. The Kaiser killing off for Detroit with a reach there. He must drop back to his defensive position, does. And now it's Hamilton across to Eriksson. Eriksson on back, Hamilton with it there. Fed on across again, drive by Smith is blocked down quickly. And now set up for Hamilton to play across to Eriksson again. Worked in deep, walking out is Soderberg, swept away, and there'll be a penalty coming up.
The Kaiser.
It's against Detroit, and so they give it up. And so it's a 5-on-3 for 21 seconds.
Well, it's the second time the Bruins have gone to this play. The first time Carl Soderberg did not take the puck to the net. And there you see clearly the stick getting knocked out of the hands and actually broken from Danny to Kaiser. But you like the adjustment there by the Bruins to take it to the net instead of trying to look for a pass.
Only one 5-on-3 anywhere in the playoffs has been successful. And this is only the third one called in the playoffs thus far. It'll last 21 seconds. Played to the boards and tapped on back. Quickly it comes to Chara. Chara leads in deep. Smith a shot off of Howard. They jam at it. Howard got his pad on it. Chara's shot blocked wide. Getting a piece of that was Lashoff. 7 seconds left, 5-on-3. Walked on by Bergeron, given on over. Krejci fed one across. Chara's what a stop! Made by Howard, I think. It curled around another drive. I don't know if he got a piece of it with his glove. It looked like the sweeping motion was that. Anyway, Chara again a shot, and that one blocked away, presumably by Howard. Might have been Terry Sawchuk. To the outside, now it's held. Laid onto the back once more, and a shot by Bergeron. Save Howard. Rebound, scramble in front. They score! Riley Smith, 2-0.
Well, it's just a matter of time on the power play for the Boston Bruins. David Krejci setting up shop. Patrice Bergeron getting the puck to the net. Strength in numbers, and then Riley Smith gets in behind Jimmy Howard.
Major point of emphasis for the Bruins. We talked about it earlier, not getting enough sweaters to the front of the net. Not only are they in front of the net, they're in behind Jimmy Howard, and it's a great job by Riley Smith getting there and winning the race. Louis Eriksson does a good job. He chips it. Riley Smith finishes it. But that's what the Bruins wanted to try to accomplish here in Game 2. Detroit did a great job in Game 1, keeping them away from in front of Jimmy Howard.
Offside called. 9:16 to go in the first. The home team has gotten 2. Edward Jones FaceTime. Pierre is with Boston head coach Claude Julien.
Did you tell your guys to get in front of Jimmy Howard today?
Yeah, I think I said that before the first game, but we're doing all little things a little bit better today here.
Let me ask you a question about playing physical. You want to play physical, but you don't want to go over the edge. How hard is it to control your team?
Well, I think it's just about staying within the rules here. You know, we want to put pucks in areas today where we can get to them or at least be on top of their D's a little better than we were last game.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Even decades ago, it was a sport about controlling your guys. And it is a hard thing to do when the emotions are so high. Back in it goes for the stop there by Rask, taken along by Mazzaros. Turned across now for Sheahan, and a shot struck down. They work for it there, and covering that side of the net and holding on is Tuukka Rask.
The way this game is going, especially at even strength, a lot more board play here early in period 1. And that's certainly a strength of the Boston Bruins.
Well, Eddie, Mike Babcock told his team, I want you guys to get back to play the way we're capable of playing and playing our game, not their game. And I think he's right about that. If you look at game number 1, it was a speed factor of Detroit that was a thing that was really important. Right now the speed's not because of board play that you're alluding to.
Sheahan pitched that one from a good distance out. It would be outside the three-point line, and it was on goal for the stop by Rask. Meanwhile, good shoulder there from Boychuk. And an extra hit on Smith by Krejci that will apparently not cost. No arms are up. Meanwhile, it is loose for Kronwall, run into by Lucic. The physical play of the team in black and gold is prominent anyway. Amplified by the recent interview, but it's been picked up since the 2-0 lead for them. Hacked around and then pumped on back to center, where it's fiddled back by Kindle and thrown back across again by Lashoff, connected on to Helm. Aaron Helm steps in and shot one from out that's blocked aside. by Rask. And around it comes now for Alfredsson. Alfredsson saw that one knifed away and out to center.
Good stick there by Florek in his own zone.
Florek has played 4 regular season games in his life, scored one of those, but had never scored in a Stanley Cup until he got the first one. That went out of play. The Bruins fans just want you to know who the visiting goalie is, and so they're saying his name over for you.
We've seen some big hits in the playoffs to this point. Watch the right part of your screen. Smith's battling down low, and then here you see David Krejci come from that blind spot. Shoulder on shoulder, and I think what ended up happening there on Brendan Smith, it was more the whiplash effect where I think the helmet, his head hit the glass, but it looked like it was shoulder on shoulder from that last replay. Look, and there you see Smith headed to the locker room in behind the Red Wing bench.
So far, he's been the most targeted Red Wing. For whatever reason, the Bruins are going right after him and have since game number 1.
Quincy's pass escapes from Abdelkader to center, and then it's dropped back in and high and off the glass. Oh, and a good shoulder put into De Keyser there. Fed back across, and that one is pumped back out to center. Unable to dart away was Franzen, but it's carried on by Abdelkader. Given to Franzen, dips the shoulder, shrugged off Marchand, and pitched one to the glass.
Good strength there from Franzen, win a couple of battles.
That one slithered wide from the stick of Datsyuk, taken along by Franzen. The bodies just keep careening into the glass. That's Abdelkader with the hit on Hamilton. Now Chara takes over, 6'9", 255. Sees this pass ricochet back down, chased down by Riley Smith. Jostles there with Quincy. The black and gold have a lot of hits and 2 goals. And Karan saw that intercepted by Tatar. Torrey Krug with it there, connects back onto Campbell, and Campbell slugged it off the corner boards, hoping for Karan. Eventually got what he wanted, puck came to the back, Miller a drive, and that one was wide. Sprawling was Tatar, keeping his crew. Along for Karan, jabbed at by Kronwall, help came, and it spun off by Sheahan, but back checked away by Campbell and pushed into Howard. Centering toss from the corner failed, and so it's Nyquist taking over there. Called by some Gus, we stay with Gustav. It's his prominent old given name, and it's sent to the corner. Nothing wrong with that. Banged it to center. It was just like Teemu Selänne, who said in his very early years, okay, that's how you're saying it, Selänne, I'll stay with it. Cut off now by Lucic. Carried on by Krejci, through the legs Lucic, and a shot is fought up by Howard, and the rebound came all the way back to Boychuk. Shoots! Pad stop made by Howard through a screen.
Outstanding stop there from Jimmy Howard.
Now then Legwand looks ahead for Drew Miller, yanks one across, skated down by Glendening. Glendening protects, spun one out in front, and that ricocheted high and is carried back out again by Jerome McGinley. And it's out of play. 5 1/4 to go, first period of play. 2-0 Boston. What's next? Presented by CenturyLink. Get on your horse and go, man.
Tonight, Lightning and Canadians back in Montreal. Doubleheader tonight on NBCSN. You got the Kings and Sharks. Then tomorrow, the Blue Jackets go home tied up with 1 with the Penguins. And tomorrow as well, the Minnesota Wild go home against the Avalanche, down 2 in the series.
Good news for Detroit. Brendan Smith is back at their bench. Boychuk with a blast turned aside by Howard. Off the stick of Kindle, followed up and thrown into the paraphernalia of Howard. And the shots are becoming lopsided at 14-6 Boston. Inside the Glass, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here's Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. We just saw Justin Fleury put a puck on goal, and there was a sweater in front of Jimmy Howard. And it's been a major point of emphasis for Claude Julien. They didn't accomplish it very well in game number 1, but man, oh man, are they doing a good job of it in game number 2. They're just enveloping the crease, trying to drive Jimmy Howard nuts.
Scoring chances in the game are 12-3 Boston. They had 10 of the first 11. Lashoff lays it across, and Helm moves back in on Mazzaros. Helm through one, pad stop is made there by Rask.
Boychuk did a good job there, lift up the stick to Alfredsson, looking for a second chance opportunity.
Mazzaros punched it ahead. Eriksson can charge on with it. Lays a pass ahead that's settled down by Soderberg. Rips one, snatched there by Jimmy Howard.
Now, Carl Soderberg knows how to score. Last year he had 31 goals in the Swedish Elite League playing for Linköping. He uses Nicholas Kronwall as a screen. Jimmy Howard, what a save, flashing the leather.
The little things. And Johnny Boychuk does one of those, just lifting up the stick after the shot from Darren Helm, lifting up the stick of Daniel Alfredsson. Boychuk might have got a little lucky. He didn't have great defensive position. You'd like to see Boychuk on the other side there. He made the good play there with quick little lift of the stick.
Dougie Hamilton played that one along. Nicholas Kronwall fired it across. Off of Franzen and back in deep. Rask challenged by Franzen, threw it in and around him. And it's kicked back across now for the nice protect and play on by Hamilton. So back to get this one now is Brendan Smith. Plays it back over for Kronwall and then ahead now to Datsuk. Franzen on the right, on the left. And now it's taken on the right, I should say, by Abdelkader. Thrown on goal and held there by Rask. 3:55 to go first period and 2-0 in favor of Boston. Expand your hockey experience with the Verizon StarCam on NBCSports.com. Throughout the game, we're streaming a live ISOCam following star players like Pavel Datsyuk and Patrice Bergeron. Verizon StarCam available now at NBCSports.com. So Campbell will take this draw with Shan. Youngbound out of Notre Dame. Sticks go in early. Campbell is asked to leave. So Krejci will be there. Fortunate to have two centermen who are good drawers for Boston. Taken along by Tatar, fed on to Nyquist, then Tatar again. But it's Nyquist throwing one in front that's blocked aside by Rask. Dropped on now for Krug to filter through. Watching is Quincy. It is on back for Krug yet again. Bruins lead it ahead. It's past to Ginla and down, and icing is called.
Well, we just saw Kevin Miller try to utilize a stretch pass. A young man out of the University of Vermont. One thing he is, he's physical. He's nasty. Ask Daniel Alfredsson. He can make some offensive plays. He knows when to pinch down. He knows when to back off. He's inserted in the lineup here in game number 2 because they're looking for more of a robust presence on the back end, and he can bring it.
Stifled by the flu earlier in the week. And off the tie-up, it's brushed to the back now for Quincy to play behind. Got off there and pushed to the front. Torrey Krug with that one, and Krug able to lay it back ahead. Ripped on across now for Iginla and set on back for Miller. Miller popped that one along and it bounced free. More changes for Boston, but those are up front. DeKaiser connects across. Glendening walks it on. Met there and a hip check by Krug, and the two go sprawling. Filtered on back, and they're still trying to get to their feet, and an attempt by Glendening to center. Blocked down. He and Krug still with an exchange. Kindle a drive, and that one blocked back out again by Campbell.
Doc, they come by it honestly. Michigan versus Michigan State right there. Krug and Glendening.
That was a heck of a nasty battle in behind the play.
Glendening knows how he made it in the National Hockey League by being hardened in your face. Torrey Krug made it with a little bit more skill. Both of them undrafted players. They're pushing back and forth. And as Eddie said, pretty nasty stuff behind the plate, but it's playoff hockey. And I like the fact they didn't call that, Eddie. It's a good non-call both ways.
Yeah, the consistency aspect of it. Gonna let it go here with 2:45 left to go. We'll continue to have a good feel and let the players play.
We said the same thing in game 1, and maybe it is a trend. The power play averages per game of total of about 8. During the regular season, it was around 7, so it's not really that much different. There have been past playoffs where the first couple of games have been a parade to the penalty box, and that's not entertaining for anyone except the special teams coaches. To the back now, a shot by Boychuk is tipped by Brendan Smith and hops around now for the take by Mazzaros, and that one saved by Howard. Soderberg plays it behind, and it's skipped off Louis Eriksson, can be advanced on. Thomas Jurko able to throw it in and goes in after it. He and Boychuk see it played, though, by Rask to Mazzaros. Boom! He stepped into by Abdelkader. That popped the puck free. Abdelkader centered one that careened all the way to the back, and a drive, and that one blocked up high. Bounced over the shoulder of Abdelkader and can be walked back ahead again and thrown in by Bergeron. Off the corner glass. pivoting and being smeared and wrapped up enough legally by Franzen to break the play down. And so it is controlled back up here by DeKeyser. And the man who was subject of all of Franzen's attention was Marchand. Played on by Chara. Marchand leaned over there by Franzen. And the puck played through to the little guy, and he hands it on across for the carry forward. Handled there by Riley Smith. Oh, and it came right in on goal, and Howard covered and protected himself because he knew there were guys of questionable character headed his way.
Faceoff's going to come outside because both Bruin defensemen came into the gathering there in the crease of Jimmy Howard.
Clearly the Bruins got the message from the coach. Get people to the net. Quick play, hard play on goal. They're the Bruins in front. The Red Wings are going to push back. They're not shrinking violence, and good on them.
Well, one way to get your speed game going, here's Darren Helm. He's going to beat two Bruin forecheckers up the middle of the ice, but at some point this puck's got to get in deep. And the turnover in the middle of the ice, that's not a way to get your speed game going, to get that forecheck, get your legs into the game, and that's something that the Red Wings are going to have to correct quickly here, because that's about the third or fourth time they've turned the puck over just on the other side of the red line.
There's a lot more urgency, I think, tonight or this afternoon, Eddie, for the Bruins than what we saw in Game 1. And for Detroit, they had to weather the storm, as you correctly said, and right now it hasn't worked out.
Rask in goal has gotten 9 out of 9. And the man they are singing about at the other end has stopped 16 of 18. He has been busy and he has been acrobatic at times here just to keep his team in. You mentioned they had to expect this, Detroit, that the Bruins were going to come on strong, because the math is simple. Lose this one and you go into Detroit having to win 4 out of 5 games, including as many as 3 at Joe Louis Arena, maybe 2.
They've really dictated the terms of this first period. Talked about a lot of the board play. Strength and numbers for the Bruins all over the ice. There hasn't been a lot of one-on-one play for the Red Wings.
With 1:12 to go in the period, there is not enough time for Marchand to serve his penalties here. And the same is true of DeKeyser. And so with peace restored, though it does not compare yet to what happened earlier today in Pittsburgh between the Pirates and Brewers when the bench is empty. That has been outlawed in the NHL since the late 1980s, and we have not had one. Finally, we are ready for the neutral zone face-off with 1:12 to go in the first. Hamilton, Marchand, and DeKeyser get the penalties and have departed and await the words of the coach. There will probably need to be some repair on the part of Detroit. Can't think of much for Boston.
Detroit penalties, number 21, Thomas Leonard.
But you guys are the former coaches. I am not. Carried ahead now by Brendan Smith, shut off by Lucic, and gotten on back by Datsuk.
I agree 100%.
Number 63, Brad Marchand.
Ronwall sent it back, carried on by Datsuk. That's one, and then he passes on the wing too far for Abdelkader. Rifled back off the board. Big drive by Smith is held, and scooting on out on his pads was Tuukka Rask.
A good positioning there from Rask. Ronwall with a second opportunity from that far out, but nobody standing in front of the net for the Red Wings. And it was one of those broken plays, as you mentioned, Doc. Datsuk knifing through the middle of the ice. The shot comes from the middle, but nobody there in front to make life a little more difficult for Tuukka Rask.
At the Olympics, Eddie and Pierre, we saw players arriving on bicycles all the time. For Game 1, Tuukka Rask arrived at the rink on a bicycle on the 3rd floor, which means he came up the elevator and rode down the hallway on it. It is played on across, and he was virtually flawless in the game. But the virtually part is the one that fans think about when your team loses 1-0.
Finnish Hockey Federation actually auctioned off those bikes from the bronze medal winning team.
Nyquist saw that one deflected to the mesh. Well, they've got another one parked down here. It's just a matter of getting it over. 23.9 to go in the first. The best in the game head to TPC Sawgrass and Golf's greatest stadium. The Players' Championship returns in May. Begins Thursday, May 8th at 1 Eastern on Golf Channel and continues Saturday, May 10th at 2 on NBC. So Datsuk with an important face-off here, and Bergeron to take it defensively for Boston. Somebody encroached. See if that will penalize either team a face-off man. It will not. Same two guys. Won by Datsuk. Dipping the shoulder as Smith could not get it to the front. Eriksson with 18 to go. And then Quincy. Franzen able to step away from one in the last 10. Lobs it into the catching glove of Rask, who paddled it behind, not with much steam on it though. And then a booming hit into Boychuk.
That was Franzen.
Advocator goes down. The period is over, but not the action.
Oh, Brendan Smith just took a swat at Chara, and Chara's telling him, really? You really want to do that? That wasn't smart from Brendan Smith. And Doc and Eddie, I can tell you, I haven't seen Brendan Smith ever targeted like this, and they've been after him since game one.
Now Smith seems to want to fight Chara.
Mike Babcock's getting a chuckle on the Detroit bench. He's actually smiling about that.
Well, Johnny Boychuk was up against the glass trying to kill the last couple of seconds of the clock, and here comes Johan Franzen and drives him right in the center of the numbers, and that's what got everybody a little upset, and rightfully so. A little bit of a shot there from Chara, not much going on, and then behind the player here picked up on Smith and Chara.
There are many in the NHL watching this who would say, if I were Smith, I would hope the linesman arrived after I started that. Coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report, Liam, Mike, JR on the Bruins getting back to basics, plus the Flyers even the series with the Rangers. A ton of shots in that period, 18 for the Bruins and 10 for the Red Wings. Florek, first ever in the Stanley Cup playoffs unassisted, and Riley Smith with the other. Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico, entering the second period 2-0 Boston. 57 years ago this month, the Bruins had an ex-Red Wing goalie named Terry Sawchuk and a captain, Fernie Flaman. Oddly, not Sawchuk, but Don Simmons was the Bruins goalie who faced these guys, the Detroit Red Wings. At the back, Alex Delvecchio got the first goal. Ted Lindsay got the second one in the series. In the second row, Gordie Howe on the end, and next to him, Johnny Busick, who was traded for Sawchuk that next summer and played 21 more years here and is still with the club and looking good. You do look good when you're in the Hockey Hall of Fame, win 2 Stanley Cups, still with the team, and still a wonderful personality to have a chat with before a game. Great historian. Shot went wide. We had Chara and Smith with roughing minors at the end of the period. 4 aside here early in the second. What do you think Mike Babcock might have said to the Red Wings?
Well, I would anticipate making better decisions with the puck, getting the puck in when you have the opportunity. In that play there, you're in a 4-on-4 situation, and that's who turns it over. There's Kronwall.
Riley Smith on the receiving end. Now the Bruins bench just reminded Kronwall, don't worry, you better keep your head up. So it's on.
That's Boychuk trying to put a man into the bench area who happened to be Lashoff. Just the tap, tap, tap of the puck on the sticks right now.
Good angle there from Riley Sheahan. Forcing Krejci to turn back.
Motors on now, pulled the trigger on a shot that never took place. Rushing back is Nyquist. Ever dangerous, drifts and throws one right in off the stick of Rask. It's poked right back and Nyquist has it. On second effort is able to whip it back in on the backhand, and stepping to it is Krug. Rammed by Helm, but not until he'd released it over for Miller and then back up. And ahead now for Jurco, moving back in with Helm. Jurco fires, and that turned aside by Rask. The bouncer to Miller. Miller back up the boards, and it can be played across by Lucic. Off the stick of Soderberg, hunted down by Kronwall. The puck, that is, was. Carried back on now by Jurco, and cut off. We need to be clear with Kronwall, because sometimes it's the puck and sometimes the man. That was a misfire for Soderberg, or it would have been all alone and only the goal post.
Almost too many men on the ice there for the Bruins in that last change.
It is Rask hooking it across. Full strength action here, second period. If you just joined us, Florek and Smith. Riley Smith for Boston with the Bruins goals. Pump to the point, drive by Mazzaros into the glove of Howard.
Talked about the almost too many men on the ice there for the Boston Bruins, clearly missed by the officials. And the huge hit, Nicholas Kronwall on Riley Smith. And there's one of those, Pierre, you would probably be able to know for the Bruins bench, how aggressive were they yelling at Smith there after you see the hit there from Boychuk on Lashoff.
Oh, they were letting Nick Kronwall know, buckle up.
Were they yelling that he was coming there, Pierre, before the hit? No, they were not. Okay. That's where you got to be eyes and ears for the guy on the ice. And you got to know who's on the ice at all times. Understand where they are, understand their positioning, and knowing that there's a history and a track record there. So you better have your head up.
Now you can be run off the track real fast by that guy, can't you? And effectively. Well, anyway, to the point, here's Hamilton in a shot, did not get through. Bergeron will try to do something different. Starts by carrying around behind, wanted to hook one in front, didn't work. And now it's Abdelkader charging back up. Gives it on to Datsuk, feathered it through, and it's knifed away by Chara, or it would have been a perfect play for Abdelkader. Carried ahead by Bergeron, gliding on with Marchand. Bergeron ahead in a shot, got the glass and rattled on around, and Chara will stop it there. Fired one along that's gloved down by Bergeron, and a shot is tipped away to the corner and then can be played by Brendan Smith. It is the sing-song Howard chant. We are always pleased to translate the chants that we can. It's held behind now by Smith. 3:40 gone, second period, and it's 2-0 in favor of Boston.
Good play there from Miller there, shutting off that possible stretch pass for the Red Wings.
He has company here, but Flo is not one of them. Progressive Insurance takes you back inside the glass with Pierre. Good luck, sir.
Thanks very much, Doc. We got all kinds of action going on, but this is the action that Brendan Smith's had to face in this series. That's game number 1 from Zdeno Chara, Brad Marchand talking and whispering sweet nothings. Here it is tonight to start, David. Krejci pile drives him. Then Zdeno Chara says, really, you want to whack me with the stick? You better be tough. And I've been watching him play since he played for St. Michael's in the Ontario Hockey League and Junior Hockey League, and I can tell you, I've never seen him take the physical abuse he's taken in this series so far.
It is not a new thing in hockey. There was at one time when the target for Boston was Bobby Orr because he was good, because they said throw it in his corner and we'll tire him out. Sometimes it worked, but most times it did not. Fired around now, and it comes all the way back for the walk across and the throw by DeKeyser. No luck for Lucic in trying to clear out. Along it is dragged by Sheahan. Sheahan closed off too. Tap back up the boards, and it comes on to DeKeyser. You have the sense that the next goal is enormous, even though it is early in the second, as we watch. Lucic plays it ahead, and it's carried on by Iginla and fired across to Krejci. Dropped off for Jarome Iginla, and the shot is held by Howard.
Well, the first Saturday in May, the race for the Triple Crown begins with the Kentucky Derby. Coverage begins April 30th on NBCSN. It all leads up to the big race Saturday, the 3rd of May, right here. You know where, on NBC.
You know, I must ask you, because I have gotten several emails, including some from family, that want to know what your thoughts are about the horses. Now, when are you going to share that with us?
How about 2 weeks from today?
A drive by Boychuk, hops high in the air, and it's Erickson. The goalie stick is missing. To the back, Mazzaros, side of the net, and it ricocheted wide.
Good try there from Mazzaros.
Pushed ahead, and Yurko. Stopped by Rask. Taken by Mazzaros, off the hip of Alfredson. To Helm, and a save made by Rask. Down to the ice goes Alfredson, and a penalty is coming up to Boston.
Going to be on Louis Erickson. What a great pass there from Daniel Alfredson to get the puck to Darren Helm.
Claude Julien doesn't like it. When you watch the stick go parallel to the ice right there, Alfredson goes down. Louis Erickson and Daniel Alfredson played together on a championship team for Frölunda back in the mid-2000s. They don't like that call. Eddie, I think sometimes you got to sell it, right? If you're Daniel Alfredson, he sold it pretty well.
Feel that stick along the waistband there. A couple of good chances at either end, the Helm chance and then Soderberg with a great opportunity at the other end. So a huge opportunity here for the Red Wings down by 2.
Miller bashes it on around, and Kronwall will watch there. Drifts away from Marchand. The earlier penalty did not have its full run. That was to Thornton. Red Wings committed a foul of their own, and so it became 4-on-4 briefly. Yanked on around, and it's... Oh, Bergeron was stood up by Kronwall as he was trying to get by for the loose puck that is now covered and then put back in play by Howard, and Marchand gets up and is not happy. It is only Datsyuk, and you would think there would be respect, but these are the playoffs.
Well, a great stick there from Patrice Bergeron. Good play there from Kronwall. It happened right away. No interference call. And then the play to the front of the net. Pavel Datsyuk takes a shot from Marchand, and then Datsyuk puts him down. And there you see a nasty cross-check from Marchand on Datsyuk, retaliating after getting taken down, and Marchand getting a little work on the nose.
How about the display of strength, though, by Pavel Datsyuk? He never even budged. Marchand was the aggressor, and Datsyuk just put him down.
That's the one thing I don't think people realize. You talk about the strength here of a guy like Pavel Datsyuk. Pound for pound, as strong as any player in the National Hockey League. And he's able to do that when he has the puck a lot of the time.
Well, the hockey strength is a little different than the kind that we see in football, for example, where you measure a guy by height and weight, and you just determine his effectiveness by that. This is cleared back down. Still no shots for the Red Wings on this power play with 1:10 to go in it, and a little under 14 minutes to go in the second period.
So strong on the skates. Inside, outside edges, doesn't matter. Just great balance.
Carried along by Tatar. That one jabbed in front, and Boychuk will step behind. Former Providence Bruin got it as far as center, and it kicked on across off a Red Wing.
Real tough here for the Red Wings to get into the zone. The Bruins doing a great job while shorthanded in the middle of the ice.
They made an adjustment from game 1. You can see it. The defensemen are playing more of an I formation. Detroit doesn't know where the entry point is.
Battled on around for the hold, and the walk across by Kronwall. Given back over for a hurried shot, and a great save made through a screen by Rask on Yurko. Yurko dueling there. It is pulled free by Legwand, given to Kronwall, handed to Alfredson, fires, and that one slowed and then scooped up in front and lifted. Not all the way. A grab by Kronwall. One shot on goal, and a very strong one by Detroit on this power play. Alertly blocked aside by Rask. Play continues. 2 seconds and 1. Power play is over. Carried on now by Franzen, and a shot, and Rask is able to get that one. One shot on the power play. 1 on 2 power plays. No goals for Detroit. It was only 5 at the time. The Russians were busy in the space race launching Sputnik. And at the Purple Martin, it was 24.9 for a gallon of fuel. Those old rinks in Detroit and Boston were wonderful. The space race was interesting. Sure would like to see the fuel what it once was. Given across to Mazaros. Swung back in. Florek watches. It's turned right back toward him again. Brendan Smith is there. Jostled a bit by Erickson. Florek battled it to the front, and his pass was flagged down. Might be an odd man rush if he hurry. Brought back up the wing and held. Helm with a shot blocked down. And it's poked away, and a good defensive play made there by Miller. Miller able to force it back around right to Florek. Shouldered there by Kevin Miller. Played back across now, and the lead is back ahead for Louis Erickson. Drew Miller comes by and gives him a little jolt. And so it is held. Brendan Smith brought it ahead. And it is out of play from center. No penalty.
Eddie and Doc, we were talking about the penalty kill of the Boston Bruins. They don't have Chris Kelly, who's one of their better penalty killers. They don't have Danny Paille. So what's the adjustment? Why is it so tough for Detroit to gain penetration? Well, you can see they don't really know where the entry point is, and then Zdeno Chara closes off really hard, and Johnny Boychuk can ice the puck. But they've done a really good job dominating in the neutral zone, overcoming the loss of Chris Kelly and Danny Paille, 2 of their better penalty killers.
Henrik Zetterberg of Detroit has practiced with the team, is on the trip. So there's always the possibility. He's getting ready. His beard is in full blossom. And we will just wait to see a valuable loss. That will be a valuable acquisition for Detroit as a shot ricocheted wide and carried right past Howard off the boards. Can be hoisted on out to center. And a nice battle there by Abdelkader before he's run off by Hamilton. Poked along by Datsuk. Abdelkader with some heady work there as this is whipped along by Bergeron and careens on back. Kronwall. Datsuk gains the zone. He's got a man breaking in front. Gives it on over Abdelkader to Kronwall. And that wouldn't go as it struck Hamilton in front. Now Datsuk again. Red Wings seem to be warming here. Kronwall got it onto the back. Smith a drive. Oh, and a headhunter that got the glass. Everybody okay? Carried on by Krejci. And lobbed on out as far as center. It is Smith able to advance it back up, and right on the wing it comes for Tatar. Run off by Lucic, who starts it right back out off the steal. To Krejci with Lucic breaking, can't slip it through. He's able to touch it along to Iginla, through one that was kicked aside, though, in a strong play that was made there by Legron, who gets dragged around a bit, and play is halted.
Good back check there by Milan Lucic right before this last little offensive push for the Bruins, and right before that a great chance for the Detroit Red Wings. It all started because of the outstanding backhand pass here by Pavel Datsuk. Observing, throws it right across. Quick little play there from Abdelkader, getting it to Nicholas Kronwall, but a beautiful pass there from Datsuk.
And Nick Kronwall was screaming at Abdelkader that he was coming through the middle. Quality opportunity, and Tuukka fights it off.
I thought initially that Hamilton had been struck by that shot we just saw, but it was Sheahan who responded like he'd been hit. This is curled off there and held for the moment by Howard. Call Star NHL to download NHL Game Center and get a free premium upgrade only on Verizon. Enjoy exclusives like free live NBC National games. Never be without hockey. Nearing the halfway point of the second period, Game 2, Detroit won Game 1 1-0. In 2 days, they will play again at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Hurried shot was kicked away, and they rush out 3-on-2. It is Helm able to cut there with Yurko breaking, and his shot was knifed down and then swatted at by Krug, and a good defensive play by him. Gotten as far as center before it's stolen from Lucic and ripped back in by Brendan Smith. Krug, who grew up in Michigan near Detroit, and saw Pavel Datsuk's rookie year when they won the championship in 2002. Krug was 10 years old. Now he's playing against Datsuk. Ahead it is brought and fired wide. That was Legwand who moves in. Glendening able to hack it around, but it's Karan with time and space to bang it ahead to center. Thornton tried to finesse by. Second effort is stopped by Lashoff. Glendening stepped into Thornton. Meanwhile, they bring it back. Drew Miller with a shot that's turned aside by Rask, and then he held it on the bounce off the board, and then it's tucked in front, swatted away by Mazzaro, so it would have been a great chance because Rask had not reacted. Down to the ice in front of the net is Legwand, and a penalty coming up to the Bruins. It will be on Miller. Kevin Miller to the box. His team leading by 2.
Coach, you haven't had a lot of success gaining the zone when you're on the power play. What do you have to do differently?
Well, we were just talking about we got to get organized, but let's be honest, we haven't had a lot of success tonight. We've been drawn into their game. It makes no sense. We got to play our game. They got us off kilter. Let's play. We're quick. Let's play quick.
Thanks very much, Mike.
He has said that for the second time in 45 seconds because that was probably word for word what he said at the bench after the penalty was called to Kevin Miller of Boston. It is a cross-checking penalty. Detroit to the power play. No shots on their first one, one on the second. And here, sprints Nyquist, collides with Boychuk.
Surprised that wasn't icing there.
Deflected from Marchand. And then taken by Kronwall. Just a wipeout by Kronwall. I see you are a budding linesman, sir. Like the observation, here is Franz in there, chased behind and whacked at by Chara. Pivots along and then to the back. Handed across now to Datsuk. Pivoting, taking some lumber from Krejci. Datsuk to the back, walked along by Kronwall. Given back to Datsuk, fed back across, and it skipped off the glass, and then hopped into the mesh, out of play.
You know, Mike Babcock talking to Pierre about wanting to play quick, playing that fast game, and expected that the Bruins would come out like they did, and especially towards the end, the latter half of the first period with the giveaway by Jimmy Howard and a goal from Florek. I think anytime that you're a skating team, you want to get your legs into it at even strength anyways. You can't try to beat people. We showed a couple of replays, so you got to simplify. You got to get the puck in, and then you put the Bruins back a little bit if you can force them to turn and go back and get pucks. You want to play quick. You got to get them pushed back in order to open up some of those lanes and get strength in numbers in the offensive zone.
The Kaiser to Alfredson and back in. The clearing attempt to Boychuk fails. Campbell there, able to pull away and rifle it back around and again out.
Eddie, you were curious as to why that wasn't icing, that last one. Talked to Greg Dvorsky, the linesman. That was Exhibit A, hybrid icing. Gustav Nyquist had beat the Bruins defenseman.
Tatar works his way along, stolen by Marchand. But punched away on a good reach there. Shan did that, but it is flown across for Marchand and then pumped back out again for the safety of center.
I mentioned entries a little bit earlier, Doc. Red Wings still have no answer, as Pierre touched on earlier on that replay package. Will not get the puck inside the zone.
It is Iginla. Could not dance his way by. Tumbling down was Quincy, taken on by Brendan Smith off of Glendening, but it bounced favorably ahead for the carry by Drew Miller. It is corralled by Helm, steps by one. Helm a shot, it ricocheted in! Initially blocked, then it caromed in off probably Glendening. And so the lead has been cut in half.
Full speed through the middle of the ice, and it was Drew Miller. Gets this puck. And Darren Helm has a chance to shoot this puck, but he makes one extra move right there around Jerome Iginla. The shot, and then it goes off of Glendening, as you mentioned, Doc, but the quick shot from Helm.
Oh, you like Detroit getting to the net. Is that the stick of Glendening that gets to it, Eddie, before it touches Tuukka Rask? I think it is, right?
Play is under review.
Right there. And then does it hit his hand?
Yeah, it looks like it hits his left hand and then into the net. I didn't see any punching motion there from, or batting motion from Luke Glendening in front of the net. I think what you see is the follow through after. Watch the left hand of Glendening. It's going to hit it. His hand is tucked. It goes off his glove, and then his hand follows through after it makes contact. To me, that looks like a good goal.
Chris Lee, Francois Saint Laurent are the referees. The series supervisor is Chris King, and we get the ruling.
After reviewing the play, we call the ice stands goal.
First career playoff goal for the former minion of Red Berenson at the University of Michigan.
Pretty neat. 2 goals in this game from undrafted players. Warwick and also from Glendening.
We're going to have an icing here. Well, the icing has worked out wonderfully from the change from a year ago, and now we're all getting used to it. I'm speaking for the fans at home, too, where you expect that and you don't have the injury-producing collisions, and you don't have the sapping of energy where everybody gives up on it.
Yeah, I think the players have adapted extremely well, and I think the linesman has been a work in progress, and they've done an outstanding job of enforcing the rule from day one.
And we have another one here on the missed pass for Krejci, who has something to say to Quincy.
And the one thing I love on that goal by the Red Wings is Luke Glendening goes right to the front of the net and understands eventually the puck's going to get there. And Darren Helm shot it there. Stop in front. Good things happen when you stop in front of the net and you get a fortunate bounce where it goes off your hand and into the net. They don't ask how. If he gives it the old flyby there and doesn't stop in front of the net, that puck never goes in.
Helm and Drew Miller got the assist on the goal that cut the lead in half. It is Helm able to peel off here. Fires it back around. Hamilton jostled, able to recover, and that one went through everyone and back down. So it is Miller. Got out of the way of some of Lucic, who centered one, but it is cut there and steamed back ahead by Kronwall. Working his way along, Abdelkader pushes it further for Helm. Helm gliding with it, and a backhander is shut off by Rask. Knifed away from Alfredson. Nice play by Miller. That would be Kevin Miller. Back up now for Iginla. And forced along, and Halili back down, and then he was banged into. That was Campbell. So it's pushed on now, and handcuffed a bit with Sheahan. Taken on by Campbell, fed out in front. They jostle for it there. A nice finesse by Sheahan, and it's on out to center and dragged on by Alfredson. Sets it up for Sheahan, trying to get by. Taken away in a neat play toward the corner by Miller, and it's pushed back into him. What a shift for Kevin Miller. Thrown by Kindle. Bounced to Tatar. Couldn't pull the trigger. Side of the net, Yurko! And it's blocked and then covered by Rask. There are surges by both teams almost in any game. Have been in this one. Offensive zone face-off for Detroit. Battled for by Datsuk, but taken by Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton steps ahead and turns away from Nyquist persistent checking. That one went off Quincy and will be hunted down by Datsuk. Chased further by Bergeron, touched it across on the circle, and ahead it's Pitchfork high by Franzen. The down and outer. Hamilton bangs into Nyquist, tries to pull further. Coming along Datsuk. Rips it on back to Kaiser. Fakes. Shovels one. Save made by Rask, and the rebound was right near Datsuk, who comes up with it. Dives and plays it in front. But he is taken down to the ice, and that's the reason for the tripping call that will give Detroit another power play.
It'll be on Dougie Hamilton. What great patience there from Danny to Kaiser.
Boston 27-2.
Puck's going to come. He doesn't shoot. Holds on, takes the shot. There's Pavel Datsuk. Quick lift of the stick, and then there you see the trip from Hamilton on Datsuk.
And you know, you and Doc were talking about hockey strong. There was a hockey strong play from Pavel Datsuk. I mean, Dougie Hamilton has really enhanced his upper body strength. You see Pavel Datsuk effortlessly just lift his stick and take the puck from him.
See where he goes for the, hopefully we get another chance to take a look at that, but you see where he goes for the lift of the stick. He doesn't go around the hands. He doesn't go around the shaft of the stick. He goes right for the blade. That's how you stay away from penalties.
Drilled by Boychuk. 5 power plays in the series for Detroit. They have gotten only 2 shots. But in this period, 5 chances to 1 and 10 shots to 3 for Detroit after being outchanced and outshot in the first pretty decisively. Well, here is Tatar as they regather. Now, the way this is supposed to be is what? He's coming down the middle.
Now you got to try to either kick it out or move it in behind and keep carrying. I mean, different in that situation there, Doc, the Bruins were really deep in their zone, so it allowed the Kaiser to carry it in all the way. Go back to that play from Pavel Datsyuk, and again, the understanding on where Dougie Hamilton is. He's going for that puck all in one motion, not around the hands, not around the waist. In order to play like that, you got to skate. You can't reach. You get lazy, you're going to take a penalty.
Here is Nyquist moving on, and a shot is blocked away. Shaken up on the play was Chara. It ricocheted into the mesh.
I think it all depends, Doc, when you're asking about the entry for the Detroit Red Wings. It all depends on really where that first man is on the alignment. And if you don't shoot the puck in by the red line, chances are you're going to have to carry it in because everybody's going to be standing still at the blue line. So it's understanding and knowing what the options are and getting support and strength in numbers as you enter the zone. You need more options, not just one-on-one play.
Datsyuk tucks it back. Kronwall shoved it across. Gets it back yet again from Nyquist. Then across to Nyquist. Fed one, and the shot dubbed a bit by Franzen and chopped up high and carried on now by Marchand. Sized up by Kronwall. Finesses on now for Bergeron. Reached by Kronwall. Puck to the corner. Bergeron again. And then it's pumped around behind and Datsyuk.
Bruins wanted a holding penalty on Kronwall. He had a pretty good hold on Marchand's stick.
Brought back by Kronwall, carried on by Nyquist. Sized up by Chara, played on, but outside the line. Brought in by Franzen and offside. No shots for the Red Wings on this power play yet. We hope you're enjoying this today. On the Christian calendar, this is Easter. On the Jewish calendar, it is Passover. And celebrations always involve family. We hope it's a great time of health and joy for all of you. There are some families enjoying this game here in Boston this afternoon. A busy time in this city with the marathon coming up and Patriots Day and the head of the Charles, that would be rowing, and the Red Sox and the Bruins in town. Exciting time in the city. Filtered on now for the Red Wings to bring it in on the attack. Can't do it just yet. They battle for it there. De Kaiser had it knifed away, and around to the outside it goes, where it is nicely held, and then jabbed toward the net by Yurko, but rescued free by Kevin Miller. Miller pumped it around, a shoulder there by Tatar on Mazaros, and they go rocking in and working for it as Yurko tried to walk away with it, but then Louis Eriksson taken away by Tatar, and he nicely recovers, but at center. Carried right back, and Quincy, a bullet of a shot, reacting brilliantly was Rask.
Bruins don't have enough guys on the ice. Gregory Campbell just coming in now.
Difficult save there for Rask. Even far that out, it looked like he reacted the last second, kicked out that left pad.
Mazaros slid it ahead, forced right back in by Campbell. Lucic burrows in behind, goes heavily into the boards, not to his feet yet. Now getting up as this one is plopped on back, and Boychuk will go back to get it. Banked it around behind for Torrey Krug. Krug rifled it ahead, settled down by Lucic, knifed away, and it bounced free where Krug has to follow up. And he does, and then flies one on to Lucic, who moves in with Iginla. Hands it to him, Iginla fed for Lucic.
What a terrific play by Milan Lucic. Watch the interchanging here that happens with the Bruins. Lucic drop pass. Iginla looks like he's going to shoot, and Lucic gets in behind, and Jimmy Howard gets a piece of it, but not enough. But what a play on that 2-on-2.
Well, it all starts there. Torrey Krug, what a decision to get it to Lucic. That breaks down the neutral zone. Cross and drop. Give your stick on the ice. A good target. Jimmy Howard almost thwarted the chance. But what a beautiful play. Krug to Lucic to Iginla back to Lucic.
So Datsyuk slips this one in. Franzen across. Nyquist hurries one, and a good flex there by Rask. Some of his saves in the last 3 or 4 minutes look very large. because the Bruins were 13 minutes between shots on goal. Franzen tries to play it further. Still working to get it free, jostled a bit by Marchand. It's floated across, can be settled down by Kindle as high as center, and taken on by Riley Smith, who moves in for the loose one with Kindle. Final minute of play, second period. Iginla and Krug with the assists on the goal scored by Lucic. Datsuk motors ahead and plays it off the shelf and back in, is rubbed out there pretty effectively by Florek, who has gotten his first Stanley Cup goal. He would chuckle and say a bit of a gift, but it looms large on the scoreboard with the Bruins now regaining a 2-goal lead. Abdelkader there, circling and throwing it back in with Florek. Tangles with Abdelkader. Meanwhile, this is punched along away from De Keyser, taken by Soderberg. Right back along to Eriksson. Spun around a bit by Quincy. He's able to persist and wheel. Onto the back. Boychuk a shot answered by Howard, and the bouncer comes over for Abdelkader. Mauled back off by Lucic. Soderberg tucked it back across. Quincy patted it to center, and it's drilled back in by Boychuk.
Lucic is whispering sweet nothings in Abdelkader's ear.
The horn in the second period. Coming up on the Discover Card Intermission Report, Liam, Mike, and JR, Game 2 gets nasty, and can the Lightning strike Montreal? Lucic from Iginla and Krug at 18-16. Glendening from Helm and Drew Miller at 13-20. Both teams with 1 in the second, but the Bruins with 2 in the first and lead 3-1. Welcome back to the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico. See the person in the orange there to the left of the statue? That's one of many marathoners in town for tomorrow. Samuel Adams, the 4th governor of the state of Massachusetts. A statesman. Always admired the man. And he looks over Faneuil Hall Marketplace as here, about 5 blocks away, Milan Lucic has registered his first goal of the playoffs this year. The third one for his team as the third period gets underway. No icing on this, and Kindle plays it. Rattled on around, and Abdelkader smeared off. Punched across by Lashoff and touched on by Kindle. Closed off effectively by Florek was Alfredson, and this goes down, and no icing. Oh my! Flying into the corner boards and back to his feet, Abdelkader, and the puck goes all the way back down. Quite a collision with Johnny Boychuk.
He wishes there wouldn't have been hybrid icing there. What a hit.
Accelerating ahead now is Kronwall. Grubbed back in, and it winds up hopping out of play.
Well, you'll see Justin Abdelkader, he wins the race, and he puts the effort in to win the race or tie. You see him reaching out. So he goes to play the puck, and Boychuk, and he engaged, and that is a nasty piece of business. You kind of like it, Eddie. I think that there's no call there. Both guys were willing combatants. They were both prepared, and they both engaged.
Yeah, well, we saw that. Well, you saw that last night at Pittsburgh, Pierre, in a couple situations, right where the puck was in the area. An interference type of play.
Yeah. Bergeron for Riley Smith, but canceled out by Franzen. Chased down by Chara, pursued by Nyquist, and he pivots away. The big Z-man wheels on and across the checkered line, across the blue line, tapped from behind by Datsuk, and so it's Brendan Smith's puck to play to Nyquist and back in. Chara forced off by Franzen, but he prevailed and then gets it back from Nyquist, and then it's worked back on now for Marchand. With several moves, Marchand, a backhander off the mask of Howard. Dealt along now for Datsuk to bring ahead. Has Yurko with him. Datsuk finesses by, still controlled. Back pass for Yurko, and he's able to flag it down, carried off by Miller. So then Lucic shouldered off right in front of Pierre by Datsuk. And behind, it's picked up now and controlled by DeKaiser, who stepped into and sent flying by Iginla, who also goes down. Turnaround shot directed by Iginla into Howard. A penalty is coming up against Detroit.
Kyle Quincy's going to get it. He went after David Krejci. He's going to get called for a rough. Krejci's below the icing line. We saw all kinds of skirmishing going on. There's the hit, and then watch Kyle Quincy at the end. He just slams Krejci down and holds on.
Go back to a play by Brad Marchand. Watch what he does here with this stick. He goes inside on Kronwall. Watch the tap of the stick right there. He taps the stick of Nicholas Kronwall to move that puck away from the puck to allow him to get to that puck and create a great chance. Great backhand. Real good save from Jimmy Howard off the mask. But the headiness there of Brad Marchand on that one-on-one with Kronwall.
Krejci walks it across and fakes and then gives over to Krug. And then Krejci. Lucic looking, he's got Chara at the front, to the back to Krug. Fakes and gives back over now to Iginla. Through one in front, save. Score! Chara!
Right off the face-off, Milan Lucic wins this face-off, and then the Bruins go to work. Jarome Iginla's going to work himself off to the left part of your screen. He's going to set up shop, but Zdeno Chara is going to be right in front, and Iginla just gets this puck to the front. He's looking for the stick of Chara, and he finds it on a second chance opportunity.
How do you defend against that, Eddie? I mean, you got a mountain of a man who's just so dominant. Maybe Lashoff can close the gap a little quicker, or Jimmy Howard can control the rebound, but that is a tough play, and that's well executed by the Bruins off the faceoff, as you said.
And I think the one thing here, looking off that replay, and we'll get another look at it, is you see where the stick of Lashoff is. It's up in the air. And if he gets it down, maybe, just maybe, he's able to make contact with the stick of Chara.
Sheahan with a shot that went wide. He tries again, and that one bounced free in front off of Yurko and fed on to Sean Thornton, who skies a bouncer toward the corner. Icing preceded by a collision. Out of the misunderstanding, we review the goal.
Well, again, look at Lashoff here. Look where he is. He's got to get his stick down on the ice. You're not going to win the physical battle. Stick is up in the air. Look where the puck is. Too late. Like he realized that the puck was there, so he goes from his waist down to the ice. Too late, and the Bruins score on a power play.
It's a late whistle. Jordan Caron, Jacob Kindle get engaged. Kindle doesn't like it. Caron doesn't like it. And it's playoff hockey. There'll be a lot more enemies before this one's over.
It is Boychuk turning. The snarl quotient has gone up markedly in this game and around the NHL in second games of playoff series. Not in terms of fights, still very few of those, but in terms of penalties and power plays and all of that. Kronwall feeds it ahead. Hooked along now, 13 minors through 2 periods here. 3 minors in the entirety of game number 1 of the series. Soderberg shoved off, retreats, and pops it off the glass. Florek trying to pull his way further. Closed off there by Kronwall, pushed on for Helm, taken by Soderberg in front. Oh, and he had a man there in Florek looking for his second.
Good help there from DeKaiser.
DeKaiser plays this one on to Kronwall. Down to the ice he went. It's jabbed across by Legwand, carried on by Glendening. Glendening holds and gives on to Legwand. Legwand twisting around behind, tried the wraparound, and no, said wrap. And floated on back for an icing. Gilles Lupien, Corrado Mikolev, Vincent Riendo, Ryan Lavender, Blair Atchinham, Slava Fetisov, all celebrating birthdays today. Brent Seabrook also turns 29 today. Ryan O'Neal, who appeared in a New England-based love story, is also celebrating a birthday today. He was a Harvard hockey player. They faced a bunch of Canadians from Cornell, as I recall. Love means Game 3 at Joe Louis Arena, based on what we've seen this afternoon. To the back it comes now for a shot by Brendan Smith that is cut off there and floated on along further for Smith to keep again. It's a delayed offside. And then Chara. And Franzen. And Rask. So Chara again run into by Abdelkader. That one ricocheted off the glove of Smith. He and Kronwall have been the most active players in terms of getting in ice time. Here's an intercept and a carry back on by Datsuk. Crosses with it now. Dropped it to Franzen to Datsuk, and a shot was stopped and then grabbed by Rask. A nicely conceived play.
You won't see Chara make a lot of mistakes. He made one right there on the turnover. And Pavel Datsuk almost takes advantage. You see 33 move the puck cross ice, make the simple play, go to the near side wing. Instead, Pavel Datsuk, the king of theft in the league, intercepts it, cross and drop, gets it back. Abdelkader's right there, but Tuukka Rask makes sure there's no second chance opportunities.
That pass was not in the wheelhouse from Franzen to Datsuk, and that allowed Tuukka Rask to move right to left.
Jurko, while falling, played it along to Tatar, and that one kicked along by Krejci, fed back up the boards, and Kronwall taps on. Here's a feed for Jurko, and a shot had to be jabbed away, ricocheted in front, and perhaps it got through to Rask, and perhaps not.
Off Pizarro's skate, Doc.
Okay, thank you. This one given back across to Kronwall. We are closer to the Adams statue than we are to that play. Here's Kronwall handing it across, and Tatar brings it on. Tatar a shot and a nice hand save made by Rask, and another shot. Bounced in front, Rask able to block that one, and it came to the corner. Red Wings picking up their game, so is Rask. Thrown back in deep, Tatar could not reach that one, and it curled around for the take in the skyhook by Iginla. Flops near and can be brought on by Lucic. He's got Krejci at the front, has to duel with DeKeyser first though, and it hopped to Krejci. Then across for Thornton to shoot one that's blocked away. Kronwall getting in the way of Thornton legally, and then Lucic with a forearm shiver hit on Glendening. Kevin Miller blasted back and it caught the glass. Bounced on for Campbell, and he touched one that ricocheted around behind. Spun on back and then filtered back behind the net by Legwand. 6:15 gone in the third period. If nothing much changes, and the Bruins give no indication that it will be an even series going to Detroit 2 nights from now. Up the wing, Legwand shooting. Oh, and that went off the glove of Rask and caught the glass. And we get a halt to play on an offside. Play stopped here, third period of play. The Bruins with a lead of 3. Somewhere in the background I hear a ha-ha captain profile presented by Captain Morgan White Rum, and you see today 21:44 in ice time, 2 blocks, 3 hits, and a goal. 22 shifts, and still 13:25 to go in this one.
Can't forget the penalty, Doc. You like those.
Coincidental roughing minor with a smile on his face at the time. Wraparound attempt by Nyquist is held off remarkably by Rask.
Pretty quiet game for Gustav Nyquist, but he does a good job there of leaning in, creating that chance to see Tuukka Rask taking away the bottom of the net, getting the blocker down, and the paddle the stick down. One thing I think the league did a great job of really making those nets a little bit more shallow, allowing players to get to the front of the net a little quicker, creating more offensive opportunities.
The drop over for Bergeron, tries for Marchand. Stepped into and roughed up a bit by Quincy. Poked along now for Nyquist.
A lot easier to get the puck to the front of the net, or those caroms in behind, so less net in behind the goaltender. A shallower net allows for more possibilities for offensive opportunities, especially on those wraparound plays. So a real good job by the league to make a little adjustment over the course of the summer and lead to more offensive opportunities.
There is always talk about increasing the amount of scoring. During the course of this year, the average per regular season game was a little over 5. In the playoffs, it got up to 7.5 before game 1 of this series. Then it came tumbling back down to 6.5 goals per game. Traditionally, 50 years ago or more, Clarence Campbell used to keep track in the original 6. And whenever the total number of goals in a game dropped below 5, he asked the referees to call more penalties, figuring the power plays would increase the scoring.
Soderberg just got a stick stuck in the Zamboni door. That's why he's stickless right now coming over to the Bruins bench.
I think we heard that crack too all the way up here, the great audio that we have. I think we actually heard the stick snap.
Touched on back now for the play to be made back by Abdelkader and on across. Flying ahead with it is Daniel Alfredsson. Protects despite the reach and throws one in front that was blocked wide. Getting in the way was Soderberg. He's got another stick now, a different one from the bench. Played back out now by Louis Eriksson and tipped back in again by Florek from the pass of Soderberg, who closed off Jurko. Too far, and Iginla played across, but Jurko is able to march ahead. Jurko's shot is blocked high to the corner by Johnny Boychuk. Sheahan on the boards, but then it's lofted on back. Smith able to step aside with it, then lost it, and then regathered and hurried one in front off a skate, dug out there by Boychuk. Over 8.5 played in the third period. Goal scorers are Florek, Smith, Lucic, and Chara on the power play. Glendening with the lone goal for Detroit. Tatar got there first and second. Jurko fed one in front, and it goes to the corner, and the Red Wings continue to bring it more here in the third. Thrown back along, and a control further, and then a pass ahead by Krejci. Nudged up the wing, Lucic burrows ahead, turned on to Tatar's stick, and he rushes on. Tatar drifting with it now, chased off by Krejci, floated on by Krug, settled down by Lucic, and passed ahead for Iginla, but instead the boards. Tampa Bay and Montreal tonight. Later on tonight, Los Angeles, San Jose. The NBC family of stations has them all for you. Every series, every game. Ooh, a hit on Kindle by Campbell. Nudged to the front, and this thrown back off now for Legwand. Deflected on by Glendening and chased down, but canceled out by Kevin Miller. And then in the way is Legwand to turn with this one. Picks up reinforcement from the bench. Meanwhile, Thornton kicked it along. Nyquist got a piece of it. Nudged along further by Thornton, sound defensively. And this one scaled off the glass. And it took a Red Sox bounce. And is thrown all the way out to center. It was closer to Fenway than it was here. Kindle to get this one now as we're down to the last 9 3/4 minutes to go in the third.
Now Thornton did a good job there. Turned the puck over to David Legwand. Tried to go through the middle of the ice, but he did a nice job of recovering and took the puck away from Legwand in his own zone.
Here is Datsuk again. Datsuk fed one, and Smith a shot. Getting a piece of it was Rask.
Very aggressive goaltending there from Tuukka Rask. If you're the Red Wings, you go to school in that type of situation. He really left his net well out on top of the blue paint, probably about 8 feet out on top. See a goaltender being that aggressive. You want to hold on to the puck, make one move, get him swimming out of his net, and look to put it in behind him.
Datsuk is there, hammered enough by Hamilton, and again by Chara. Bouncing in was Alfredsson. Puck to the back and kept by Quincy. Off Alfredsson, reached along by Chara and taken by Soderberg. The other way they try it. Chipped along by Eriksson. Marchand tucked a little pass across for Soderberg, but not delivered. Quincy lays it on back further, chased down by DeKeyser. 8:40 to go in the third. The Red Wings need to strike quickly. They have at least been more consistent this period. A drill by Abdelkader is read off the boards by Alfredsson. And Alfredsson drops it off to DeKeyser, who marches on. His shot is into the catching glove of Tuukka Rask. He gave up one in the first. He's given up only one in the second. Those are people near the finish line for tomorrow's 118th Boston Marathon. 36,000 have qualified to run. It is remarkable, and we have seen so many of them sprinting in the downtown area. And thus it is with great guilt that I showed up here today and had a hot dog. They're all real slender. 26 miles will do it and a lot of training, and we admire them all. And we hope all is well. Loaded ahead now for the carry back up by Sheahan, and the shot is turned aside by Rapp. Sheahan again tried to play it behind, and it skittered to the corner. Nyquist jousting there along with Iginla. 8 minutes to go, third period. Touched on now for Mazzaros. Steamed it ahead, and Lucic with the safe play out. We know the snarl has been apparent from up here, Pierre. Editing slightly. What are you hearing down there?
It was a lot more vocal earlier. It's not nearly as vocal right now. I think everybody's just kind of focusing in on getting through this. And if you're Detroit trying to get another goal, Boston just hold them off and be ready for game 3, both teams.
This one ricocheted around behind, is reached there by Hamilton, touched on, and Riley Smith can chip it back down. I don't sense any lacking in terms of ice time for overworked Bruins. A toe drag, not once but twice by Riley Smith. And a remarkable play did not get finished.
No, but the one thing that Claude Julien is doing, you're seeing Sean Thornton a lot more, you're seeing Jordan Caron a lot more, you're seeing Gregory Campbell a lot more, and as I say that, here they come on the ice.
The group of Dobermans, and Quincy plays it on across. Ripped back ahead and too far for Helm, and thus an icing with 6:49 left in the third.
For Riley Smith, he scored a goal in this game this afternoon, and he shows an abundance of skill in this situation. Brian Lashoff tries to move the puck over the boards, around Datsuk, around Brian Lashoff, and almost around Jimmy Howard.
You saw Pavel Datsuk there get beat by Riley Smith. Watch this great backhand pass, but watch how aggressive Tuukka Rask is. Comes well out on top of the blue paint there. So again, talking about going to school, you want to hold on to that puck a second longer. Maybe look to make a fake if you can. That's all part of the process in a playoff series. Trying to get an edge somewhere down the line. Might not be in the next 2 minutes. Could happen 8 periods from now.
Forik with a strong shot that had to be waffle boarded away by Jimmy Howard. Taken along by Soderberg. Wants to march to the front. Chased off there. Not once but twice by DeKeyser. Then around in front. Unable to get the trigger pull because he had no possession with Forik. But he has it now. And Fed went around in front and chased off. And then rocked to the corner was Louis Eriksson. Floated out to center. Corralled there and started back in by Lucic. Lucic wants to get in after it. Rams into Quincy. Which is bigger, the puck or the man? Lucic usually, unless he's got to break up the wing, takes the man. And it's worked. Helm with a shot there that ricocheted around behind.
Good effort there from Lucic to come all the way back there to deny Darren Helm a possibility of getting the puck to the net. Remember, he was the guy that was below the goal line there. Great effort.
I think he's had a tremendous game all game long here in game 2. Just his leadership factor alone. Competing physically and back-checking like you just demonstrated, Eddie.
Rolled along now to Legwand, who brings it further and then dropped it back for the carry back on by Cronwall, and the blast is blocked away by Rapp. Shot total is up to 34 for the Red Wings now, 29 for Boston, but the difference is large with 5 1/4 to go in the third. It is 3 goals for the home team. Thinking ahead a bit, we have seen Bergeron against Datsuk a lot here in Boston. I wonder if that will be the matchup once we get to Detroit and the Red Wings get the last change. Hoisted off the short glass by Krug. Lashoff to play it there. And pivoting back is Nyquist. Kindle missed for Sheahan, and Rask helped it along. Lost to Nyquist, but for Sheahan, and played back up. Kept by Lashoff, taken along now by Tatar and Riley Smith. A confidence builder for this young man, 18 in black. And he watches Nyquist as this is played behind, and Krug has it. Krug tried once and then did a spinorama to get it around to Riley Smith and back out. And the clock continues to move. Datsuk dances by one, then by a second, reached it, got it. Datsuk again, ripped it on across, Bronson with a shot that is blocked away by Chara.
Just amazing to watch Pavel Datsyuk with that puck. When it looks like he's not going to find it, just finds a way to get to it and make a play.
Eddie and Doc, usually we see in-series adjustments and players going in and out. One of the real key additions for Boston, Kevin Miller this afternoon. He's been really good.
Solid he has. His team is ahead in this one as we get near the finish by 3 goals.
What's next? Tampa Bay Montreal Game 3 tonight, NBCSN. LA San Jose Game 2 tonight, 10 Eastern, NBCSN. Tomorrow, Pittsburgh at Columbus Game 3 on NBCSN. Colorado Minnesota Game 3 tomorrow on the NHL Network. Download the app or watch live online at NBCSports.com.
It is Kindle, whose former team, the Grand Rapids Griffins, will be opening the playoffs in the American Hockey League on Friday, playing in Abbotsford against the Heat. Pacific time zone.
Can you imagine that trip? Grand Rapids to Abbotsford. Can't be easy.
Helma shot, and it's blocked down. It is a best of 5, and the first 2 games are in Abbotsford, the last 3 potentially in Grand Rapids. And the farm team of the Bruins, the Providence Bruins, will be hosting Springfield in a best of 5 beginning in Providence on Wednesday.
So the assistant coach for the American Hockey League affiliate for the Boston Bruins, Kevin Dean, assistant coach. In between the second and third period, former teammate of mine back in the day, and his head coach down there, Bruce Cassidy. Both those guys have done a really good job with a lot of the young defensemen of the Boston Bruins. When you think about the back end of the Boston Bruins for a lot of this year, for Claude Julien there on the right, head coach, and Dougie Huda there on the left, who runs a defenseman. For a lot of this year, it's been guys like Dougie Hamilton, Torrey Krug, Kevin Miller, Matt Bartkowski. You could build those guys around Zdeno Chara and Johnny Boychuk. You know, the injury, of course, to Dennis Seidenberg earlier this season. So to have that young of a defensive core, the majority of those guys, speaks to how good the Bruins were this season to be the #1 team point-wise in the entire National Hockey League. So not only here at the National Hockey League level, but also the importance of that coaching and teaching at the American Hockey League level with Cassidy and Dean.
Kevin Dean came by and honestly had some pretty good teachers in New Jersey with Jacques Lemaire and Jacques Laperriere, didn't he, Doc?
He did indeed. Net empty, 6 attackers, 3 goals to get. Alfredson, but center. Kronwall to take it there. 3 minutes to go. A misfire. And back down, it's chased down by Kronwall. Gotten there, plenty of Bruins back. Bergeron, one of them. That's usually trouble. Did not turn out to be that way this time. Alfredson glides on out. Thrown back in by Nyquist, and he burrows in after it. It careened over to Rask, fired it back around again, and at the half boards battled for it, kept alive by Kronwall. Kronwall floated it back, and Chara took over there. And back down, and this one will flap wide, and not even barely make the end line. I wonder if a man who arrived at the arena on a bicycle the other day, this is backhanded in by Krejci and waved off because it was offside. Just wondering whether Rask has ever thought about scoring a goal. Certainly has the advantage on the scoreboard, and Milan Lucic wants that one to count.
You see they start coming up through the middle. There's the active stick. Milan Lucic, David Krejci he's trying to wait for Lucic to get back on side. He does not get back on side. I know he's mad.
Could be at himself. No, but you take it out on the stripes because they're nearby.
He's saying, I was on side.
Well, he'll look at the video later. But with a smile on his face because his team has done well and he's helped them. This one skipped across. Howard is waiting to come out. And played on back again. De Kaiser to take it there. Thrown ahead and back down. icing is called. You were talking earlier about defensemen. Remember Jay McKee? Since the age of 10, he played and never won a championship, but last night, he and his teammates won the Allen Cup, emblematic of senior hockey supremacy in Canada. Congratulations to him. The Dundas Real McCoys defeated the Clarenville Caribous 3-2 in OT, and Jay McKee is a champion.
He probably blocked more shots than anybody in that game.
Boy, I'll bet. In his career, he blocked an awful lot. At a time when you blocked with a lot less protection on your shin pad.
He had those Craig Ludwig shin pads, I think.
Oh, they fanned out a little bit.
Oh, yeah, right. It looked like he had phone books stuck on the inside.
The Kaiser connects ahead, and it's walked back in by Helm. Helm a shot turned aside by Rapp. Jabbed at, and it can be played by Charles. Then Krejci. Howard remains in the goal, and this one is flopped wide of him. Jim Martin, the PA man, set up the anthem, and he tells us how much time. And the fans start to stand and wave towels. Their guys have gotten the series even. Bergeron banked it back out, grabbed there by Kindle, played across, and it can be rescued and carried back in again to the outside by Bergeron and flown out of play.
We were talking about the minor league affiliate for the Boston Bruins, and you mentioned Grand Rapids out in Abbotsford to take on the minor league affiliate of the Calgary Flames. Troy Ward, the head coach there, but Jeff Blashill has done an outstanding job with the American Hockey League affiliate of the Detroit Red Wings. A guy that I'm sure is on a lot of radars to take that next step, become a coach in the National Hockey League at some point.
You get a lot of attention for what happened with the players you developed, as well as being named just this past week the Coach of the Year. Rattled ahead now for Drew Miller. Miller shuffles one along. Glendening behind, close quarters to Legwand, jostled with Campbell, and around it comes further for Kindle. Not sure if they'll count it down here, but they've sure been proud of what their team did for them. They won't count it, but they will cheer more. It is even this series. Let's go back about 3 hours. And your feeling was, at the start of the game, it would be?
Well, the Bruins would come out a little angry, finish off continue where they left off back in game 1, Doc. But you think about it, the Bruins had a push, the Red Wings answer, and then the turnover by Jimmy Howard, 7 minutes into the game? 7.5 minutes into the game. Justin Florek gets his first National Hockey League goal, and from then on, the Bruins really gained some momentum and traction, especially on a power play, generating a lot of offensive opportunities. Really a complete game. 18 shots in the first period for the Boston Bruins. Really a complete game by the Bruins.
To the ice, Brad Marchand is with Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Okay, the snarl factors into this series. How big a role do you play in it?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, we wanted to really push our game on them tonight and play physical like that. And when the emotions run high, I like to be involved, and I think it pushes us all to be better.
In game number 1, they were clearly the quicker team. How did you take the speed out of their game?
We tried to tighten up a little bit in the neutral zone and try to hit them as much as we could. I mean, that's what's allowed us to play great all year, and want to continue playing that way.
Chris Kelly and Danny Pye are two really important parts of the penalty kill. They weren't here this afternoon. Your penalty killing was exquisite. How'd you overcome the loss of those two?
Yeah, they're two very key players for us. But in playoffs, you gotta have guys step up, and that's what happened tonight. Florek came in, he played great. He did a great job on the PK, got a goal there. So we need guys like that to continue to step up.
Riley Smith's one of your teammates and one of your line mates, yet his brother Brendan plays on the other team. You guys are going after him. Something going on that we don't know about?
Yeah, he's a physical guy, one of their tougher guys, I'd say. And you know, he's plays in your face, and we do the same thing. And sometimes guys like that just clash, and it's always fun that it's his brother too.
Congrats on game number 2. We'll see you in Detroit Tuesday night, Brad.
Thanks, Pierre. Appreciate it.
It's fun that it's his brother too. We'll be back to wrap things up now, but back to Mike, Liam, and Jeremy in our studio.